Hey everybody, what's up? Here I am on just a little rogue I made back in the day, and this is just going to be an update video because I just got back from my vacation. Um, so I just wanted to show some EverQuest while I talk, basically. So I'm going to grind this little level 5 rogue here. He's got Ruby on, and just have some fun on him. And, talk a little bit about what I've been thinking about the future of this channel, where it's going now, because my tastes have changed just a little bit, and also talk a little bit about some stuff going on in my life. If you're new to this channel, maybe just skip this video. This is more for people who have been watching, have a little bit of an investment and interest in the story of Sendrith here. So, my recent hardcore experiences have just been super fun, and it just seems so much more attractive than the grind for leveling higher level characters. Like, I still enjoy it occasionally, but I just don't have the taste to really, like, push my main from 57 to 60. I mean, I'll go back. I need to do it more. I need to find a comfortable spot to solo with Miana, and put the time in occasionally doing that. Wow, lag city over here. Better watch out for these giant bats. They will social. Um, so anyway, I really liked the hardcore thing. Yeah, dying sucks. It kind of crushes you a little bit, but you bounce back, and it's just the just the grind is so much more fun knowing that it's hardcore, and the self-found is also a very special dimension to that. Like, they need to be together. They definitely need to be together. This guy must have recently deemed, because he's getting tons of level ups on stuff. I forget. I haven't played him in a long time, so I kind of forget where he's at. Obviously, he's a trinked rogue. My friend Misty had a paladin over here, so we played together, I think, like once, and then interest waned. But I've never played a rogue, so maybe I'll try. I'll probably get up to at least backstab area, and then figure it out from there. So yeah, my plan is to do some more hardcore characters, but unlike Classic, I am going to. I want to mix it in with another thing I found that to be pretty cool and interesting. And I'm going to remember to link it on this video. I mentioned this on a past video, but I forgot to link the channel. There's this guy, and the channel's called like Lemony Heads or something, and he did some like role play ogre, like where while he's talking to the camera, he's like using his ogre voice pretty much the whole time. And he had this friend who did a cleric, was a little gnome cleric, and he also role played, and they were just hilarious together, and they were fun videos to watch. So what I want to do is do some hardcore, do a hardcore character. And instead of being like, all right, so what do I do here? Here I am in this city. Like, I want to like basically just narrate from the viewpoint of the character, give him his own voice, and dodging these red mobs all around me, dude. This is so risque. Give him his own voice and try to stay in it as much as possible, and but comedically, not like seriously. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be good. And if you want to check out, if you're hungry for EverQuest content and you haven't heard of this guy, you should totally check it out. I mean, I like it. There are a couple episodes that are a little not as potent, but the early ones I really enjoyed. So I think you might like him too. And he didn't get much viewership, which is why I think he stopped after not very long. But he did fire up again on a stream not too long ago, but just that one, and then that was it. So I don't know. But I like the idea. I like the role play he was doing. It was funny. So I'm going to do different characters. I know my Beast Lord died, but I'm probably not going to fire up another Beast Lord. I just don't like the idea of that so much. I think I'm going to probably do a different class each time, depending on how far I get. If I didn't get very far, I might retry a class. Next up is a mage. So I think I'm going to do a gnome mage hardcore, solo self-found hardcore. And I've already thought of a name for him and kind of hammering out the personality a little bit. I don't know. It's going to be hit or miss with some of these guys. So aside from that, that's the future plans for EverQuest. As far as other videos, yeah, I'll still be doing whenever we can get together with the boys. We'll be doing the adventures with the boys on whatever alt it might be. You guys know I have a whole sea of alts, right? So we'll still be doing our adventures with the boys and whatnot, um, at least occasionally. Hopefully we can get to play with Classic again sometime. He's got his. He's also seems to be all into the hardcore thing. I don't think he's been playing other characters lately. And that was also an inspiration. He's like, yeah, he's getting into it. I don't have to keep playing other characters if I'm liking the hardcore. I kind of feel obligated sometimes to like play the other characters because I got friends and I will do that. Like if someone's on, I'm not gonna go. I'm probably not gonna go. Play alone and be like, hey guys, I want to do this today. I'll probably play with them because I love playing with other people. Got my new friend, the Beastie Boys. I'm really having fun with. I'm liking that. It's similar though because it's self-found, right? So it's kind of got the same vibe as like a solo self-found hardcore thing because we're exploring the game from the ground up and exploring a new class for me. I've never seen a Beast Lord before. I didn't back when it was live. I was invested in my characters when it came out. Like I think I started right around Velius, and so I do remember Beast Lords coming out with Lucklin, but I was not starting new characters. I was pushing really hard on Sendrith, the original Sendrith, to get to 60 so I could raid with my friends who had got me into the game, which never, it only happened once. I raided with them once, and at that time I was like we were raiding Kale, and I was like level 47. Like I was under leveled, like not contributing a whole lot. I remember being in the complete heal chain and then running out of mana and then just like having to sit out of the complete heal chain and the other guys just kept going and going. I was like, geez, how do they do this? But anyway, never played a Beast Lord, long story short. So I'm enjoying exploring that, and as Classic pointed out, it's interesting to see how powerful it is because it's in zones and in an era it's not supposed to exist in. What is Deputy Astler doing? I think I'm just lagging right now. That's why I'm seeing these kinds of things here. Anyway, oh, that just totally threw off my train of thought. But overall, I'll just move on. Overall, I also want to say, and I've said this before, but this time I really got to get more serious about it, and I think it is more serious. And I'll say why. I need to cut back playing altogether a lot because I'm starting some courses for computer programming, and my recent little adventure to America. For those who don't know, I didn't talk about it too much. I finally took my family back home, back to the States. Um, Only my oldest son had ever been back, and he was 1. So that's how long it's been since I came back solo one time in the interim. My oldest is 10 years old now, so last time I took him and my wife back was 9 years ago, and I only went myself one time since then. So unlike some of the other English teachers I work with, they go back every year for a long period of time. I'm like, that's a lot of money to spend. So it was a real awesome trip. We really packed everything in. We went to California and just every day doing something cool. So, yeah, we're gonna the trip back. Sorry, I got a message on the game and it threw my brain through a loop. The trip back really inspired me to like really put the pedal down on this computer programming because unlike when I went back before alone, where I kind of felt like I didn't belong here, being there with my family, I think now I just had this thought right now. I think it's because I was with my family. I was able to really get a feel for how it would be. It felt more real, and I'm like, this is nice. I like being here. When I got off the airplane, I was in downtown LA at LAX, and I was like, the air is so sweet because it is compared to where I'm at now. Like the air here in China is really bad. So if you can imagine how bad it is if I'm noticing the sweetness of the air in downtown LA at LAX, like walking out of the terminal to where all the cars are like picking people up, you know what I'm saying? So just that, just the clear air and stuff, and then the houses instead of apartment buildings. That's also probably the second biggest factor. It's just like houses and neighborhoods instead of just grids of apartment buildings, which is what we got here. And the real primary motivation for moving back, though, is the schools here get really intense for the kids, and I don't want them to have to go through that. You know, I want them to have some freedom to find out who they are, what they like to do, and to do what they like to do, and not have as much pressure as it seems they Chinese students here go through. Um, and it's right now it's not bad, but it's starting up, and it's gonna ramp up as they get older, and each grade closer to this. They have this huge high school test that's super important. It determines whether or not you even can go to college, or if you have to go to a trade school. That's how they do it in this society. So people really freak out about that test in high school. So as soon as I can, I want to bring the kids back to the States so they don't have to go through that. Some of the kids are going to school 10 or 12 hours a day and having homework to do when they get home at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then they're back at school at like 7:30 in the morning. You know what I mean? I don't want to put my kids through that. Wow, skill ups going nice. So, anyway, I started computer programming at Georgia Tech. This part here will be for people who actually know a bit about computer programming. Started at Georgia Tech. I was going to do the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign because their online computer science program is ranked. Their computer science program period is ranked third in the nation, and they have an online program. Perfect, right? But it's not cheap. It's not too expensive as far as schools go, but it's average. And masters are always more expensive, so it probably was going to set me back a good 30,000 for the masters. But I was not. I had majored in philosophy, so I had to complete prerequisites. So I looked into that, and I even had enrolled and gotten started in the prerequisites. And what I did is to save a little bit of money, and just because of familiarity, I went back to my alma mater, which was their sister school, University of Illinois Springfield, and I thought I'll do the prerequisites here. So I signed up for the first course. There was going to be about 5 courses I was going to have to take before I could even start the master's. So I signed up for the first course. Now, because these prerequisites are technically not towards a degree, because the degree is going to be gotten at the other school, right? They're not eligible for federal student aid. So I had to pay out of pocket. In the first class of 5, mind you, it was $3,750. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is insane, the amount of money I'm paying. And it's online, like learning how to computer program. It's ridiculous. So I made a post on Reddit, and I asked some people like, hey, like, does anybody know, like, I need to complete the prerequisites for the program at University of Illinois Champaign. Everybody knows about that program. It's pretty famous. I'm like, do anybody know a good place where I can do it cheaply? And someone said, just do OMSCS. And I'm like, what is OMSCS? So I type it into Google, and I find the Georgia Tech Online Master's Program, which I guess some computer science people developed as like a project. They're like, we want to make an affordable computer science master's program for people who, are not as well off. And so we're going to try to make one that's only $1,000. Like, that's really ambitious. Obviously, they did not accomplish that, but they did accomplish about $7,000. Now, this information might be old, so it might be as much as $10,000, but that's for the entire degree, the entire program. It's a self-paced program, right? Which is awesome. So, unlike the other one, which was, you enroll at the start of the semester and blah, blah, blah. So, really cool. And they have their own prerequisites, and the prerequisite courses for their program are also certificate courses. So as I'm completing the prerequisites, I'm getting certified. First one is Python. I forget what the other 2 are. There's only 3. Each one costs less than $700. So I just cut my costs down by, like, let's see, it would have been probably $50,000 down to like $15,000. It's a huge savings, and I'm really happy about that and excited, and again inspired by my recent trip to the States to really go for it. So, long story short, I'm going to have to be using more of my short times in the evenings for classwork and less of it for playing EverQuest. So, again, you guys, this is mostly just an update video. You can watch the action, but this is probably, I'm guessing most people are just listening in on this part. I just wanted to fill you in. Back in town so I can start recording some more videos, but they might be less frequent for the reasons stated above. And I'm not the only one. It seems like most of the boys are kind of pulling back. It's just, these things have seasons. It's just that season, I guess, Let's see if we can take a giant spider. I'm sure we can. The ruby makes us pretty beefy. But the last time we took a yellow, he got us down to like 50 or 40% HP, and he didn't have poisons. This guy could poison us, so, but whatever. So yeah, you guys, just want to give you an update what to expect in the future. If I do have time to play, it might not align with other people. Obviously, different time zones and whatnot. Yeah, look, he's kicking our butt. We might be dying right now. Luckily, we are not far from the guards. We'll see how it goes, but it's not looking good. Yeah, let's take this one to the guards. So, you know, the boys are less eager to play, which naturally makes their available times less often, because before they were squeezing it in at work and stuff and like doing risque stuff because they're just excited to play, and now most of them are like, well, I got work right now, or yeah, I'm hanging out with the wife, which I totally relate with. I do the same thing. So there's less times when I can play that it actually aligns with other people. Also, we're in winter now, so daylight savings, I play at 10 p.m. my time, and usually I'm 15 hours ahead, so my 10 p.m. is their 7 a.m. on the West Coast, right? But then with daylight savings adds an extra hour difference, so it ends up being their 6 a.m. on the West Coast, and that's my 10 p.m. Sometimes I get on at like 9 or even 8:30, or like right now the kids aren't here, it's only 5 p.m. So there's going to be a lot of play times where the boys aren't even available. So I feel like that'll synchronize nicely with my plan of doing my role-play, solo self-found hardcore videos, which should be interesting. The difficulty with that is that if I'm in role-play, I also want to catch the death, right? So I'm going to have to record some of the grinding. And how much am I going to be able to say in roleplay as I grind a crapload of mobs to level? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll have fun with it. That's what I'll do. That's the thing to do, is have fun with it. Okay, we're going to try to get this black bear that's an even con without taking off this Kodiak. Both of them would kill me on sight and would help each other. There we go. So Marrow, I didn't record it. Marrow finally hit 49, so I got to get him back home, get some new spells. That's kind of cool. I was duoing with my new friend Salazar, who's one of the Beastie Boys on his Beast Lord Salazar. He's actually Mike. In his Discord is Micanthrope, and he's got his main Salazar the Necro, and then Zalazar is the Beast Lord he started with us. We were duoing Necro Ranger, and was it Frontier? No. It was Emerald Jungle, so we had some fun there. I was fearing animals, he was fearing everything else, undead and not animal living mobs. And XP was alright. It wasn't as great as I was hoping, because I heard they bumped EJ's Zem, and people talk very nicely about it. Especially since I hate the zone. I hate the feel of that zone. You know what I mean? A medium quality bear pelt, why not? It's just like so dark and dense and with foliage and mobs, and I just don't. It's not a great zone for hunting, even though I ended up hunting there quite a bit on a couple characters, ironically. So, yeah. Miana is still 57. Marrow hit 49. Sendrith hit 49. My monk that currently has the fungi tunic is level 30. And this session was almost on him. I was going to run him to go recover his corpse. He was killing. He had a great session the other night with a ranger that I've seen around a few times. U.S. Army Ranger. That's like their character name. First name U.S. Army. Last name Anger, with like a mark between the R and the Anger for some reason. And I remember seeing him like when the server was really fresh, but this character was only level 30. So I don't know. Maybe they don't play so much, or maybe they have alts. I don't know. But we had a good grind with Monk and Ranger in the Giant Fort. So we grinded, we kicked butt. We both had fungi, I think, so we just ripped it up. XP was great. It was like 80% an hour at level 30, which I think is a hell level, right? And then we're like, all right, we're done. We go outside. I go around when you go out of the Giant Fort in Frontier Mountains and you turn left, there's like that right next to that wall is perfectly safe, right? So I turn left and I go there, and there's a named red Sarnak caster who just lays into me first round, takes me down to like 65% HP, and I'm like, oh crap! I start to run. I remember I have feign death, and I hit it, and then I like move the camera, look at the mob. I see them casting something. I'm like, oh, they must just be, now that they're out of combat, they must be rebuffing themselves or something. Nope, they were casting on me, and of course, that means feign death didn't work, and pretty soon after that, I was dead. So I was going to do a corpse recovery on that monk, but he's in Freeport, and I was like, well, this is a long run without Sal. I got to get a port. I don't even know if I have any money that's in the bank to use for that. And also, there's a chance my friend Misty might be willing to go over there and help me out. So I'm going to wait on him. And what I'll do is I'll find a cleric friend. I got Misty. I think Misty's the only one who has a cleric besides myself. And I'll try to connect with him. And I think we have a session planned tonight at 9 or 10 o'clock my time. And I'll talk to him and see if I could quickly bring his cleric over to res my monk. That'd be nice. The one good thing about it was he was level 30 and he had been in Kunark for a long time. So he needed to train a skill or two. So that was good. Let's see how we do against the Goblin Warrior. He'd actually skipped an entire, monks get like the punches and the kicks, right? He skipped one. He skipped like the level 27 or 25 one. And went straight to the level 30 flying kick, which I think is the last one now. So he's got the last one that he gets, I think, for a while anyway. And he didn't have disarm. I've been trying to level intimidation, and it is so slow. I'm using it all the time, and I think I played for like an hour and a half with that ranger. I think it went up once, and I was using it like as often as I could, pretty much. It's ridiculous. Wow, this guy's actually creaming us. We started nice. I'm fighting this one out, dude. I'm tired of running away from mobs. Never gonna... Oh, wow. He landed a nice 14 shot, but we got regen. I think we're good. Just don't get ads. It's gonna be close, though. We're at 45%. Now he's at 24. We just got to get him running. There we go. Funny with the Ruby. We're at 40%. By the time we actually manage to kill him from behind like this, probably going to be like 65, 70% HP. And by the time we get another mob, we'll be at like full. Oh, I was wrong. We're only at 47. Do I need these for anything? I feel like I might. Might be a quest. What am I talking about? This is a frickin' twink. I don't need it. You know what I mean? I don't need to do any quests. Looks like we're going to hit level 6 here in a minute. Be nice to have a little rogue. I want to get this guy up to level 10 when he gets backstabbed. So just like if I ever have a friend who's got a level 10 character, be like, hey, let me grab my rogue and let's go do something. He's got the ruby, as you can see. It's going to be interesting in a few years when, this stuff's rare. It'd be fun to run around with it if I'm still playing at that point. So you're probably not going to see this guy again. I don't know, mate, but it's just for some footage. I didn't want to do too much right now. I should actually be playing. I have 2 accounts now because I have so many alts, and this guy's on the same account as the monk. I should probably be playing one of the characters on the main account right now so I don't run down that res timer, but I think it's like 3 or 4 hours, so I don't think I've got anything to worry about in that regard. Got my wizard, so once Misty gets on, I can port him. See, where's the closest port to Frontier Mountains? Would that be... Huh. Well, it's right next to Lakeaville Omen, but it's also next to somewhere else. Is it Furiona Vi? I don't know. I'll have to look it up on, what's it called? Oh, look at this red. It's like racing. A racing red. Is that friendly? Yeah, Blixen and Entopop. It is a friendly. Okay. Okay. See, this starting zone is a little interesting. Misty Thicket. It's very... The bats are the thing to kill on this side of the wall, but they're just so dense and they social. It's like, it's pretty scary. See, look, it's like almost impossible to complete a fight without having to dodge an ad. Or two, or three. See, look. Look at that. Now I gotta move over here. And then let's hope when he runs. Well, actually, if he gets an ad at this point, I wouldn't mind too much. I got full HP. See, like, normally I would be hunting these yellows because my guy is strong. He can do it, but the thing is with the yellow is it's close, so if I got an ad, it'd be over. So I stick to the blues. They're only giving 2% each, but we'll be done here soon. Got a ton of one-hand slash. I mean, when I logged on, apparently one-hand slash was at level 10, and now it's at level 30, which seems to be max. So let's see. Let's throw in this bone dirk. I forget what my piercing's at. Piercing's at 26. All right, yeah. So let's level up piercing. And the bone dirk is the better weapon, actually. I was just trying to keep one-hand slash up for the sake of keeping skills up, you know. Let's get this large bat, which is a white con. So we'll be able to handle it, but won't be too hard. But it'll still be a decent chunk of XP instead of a blue, which seems to give 2 or 3%. This should give at least 4. Let's see, we're at 95% right now, level 5. Now remember, halfling rogue, you get the best XP per kill in the game. You get like a bonus to your XP. What to speak of not getting a penalty, you're actually getting a bonus. So let's see what 95 goes up to. That's 5% for that kill. Welcome to level 6. I think that'll about do it, guys. Just want to drop an update video. Next one will be a real session of some sort, whether it's a new solo self-found hardcore character or a session. It'll probably be a session with the boys. Like I said, I'm playing with them tonight. I'm hoping Wolfdar shows up because I've been itching to take our Beast Lords down to the basement of Currents to get the Ixar Berserker Club because they are self-found. Now they just changed the self-found rules. They have this new thing called Self-Found Plus that you can change from Self-Found to Self-Found Plus, which allows you to group with people who are not self-found, but they have to be within your level range, right? But still no trading and whatnot. And I just found out from a friend that once you're at Self-Found Plus, you can actually unflag completely from Self-Found. So that's an option, and I'm going to talk to the Beastie Boys about that option. Not that I don't want to do Self-Found, but I think I might just want to do, honor system Self-Found, just like I do with the Troll Shaman. So that way we can trade with each other. We don't have to worry if someone loots something, then they got it, and we can't give it to each other, and stuff like that. And yeah. So, yeah, drawing a blank on my mind here. Again, if you're new to this channel, which is not very many people, I hope this video wasn't too boring. And if it was, please don't judge the whole channel on that. Also want to say we hit 600 viewers. It took a long time. I mean subscribers, so that's cool. It'll be interesting if and or when we hit 1,000. I noticed that Classic's channel took off. He's over like 2K, now he's like 2.3, 2.4, and it seems like just the other day he had just hit 1,000. I guess it wasn't the other day, but I think when he hit 1,000, I was at about 300, and yeah, so he's gone a bit more than double. I've doubled too, so I guess if I keep putting the time in, of course, if I made some better content, right, it would happen quick. Like I see a couple channels that started up, Decius, and they put in some time making it nice, and it pays off. But yeah, it's not. I'm just sharing stuff, just sharing stuff. And I feel like I will be making some better content once Velius drops, once Miana gets up to 60. Then I'm going to start to try to do some cool solo stuff with Miana the Enchanter. So really looking forward to that. I hope you guys will enjoy that as well. Yeah, that's about all I got. So I hope you guys had a good break. Had a wonderful time. For those who are still here, who know me personally, the boys who might be watching, we did so much on our trip to the States. We went we went to Knott's Berry Farm, which is a small, but it's in my opinion the best amusement park. It's in Southern California, and also in Buena Park near Anaheim, California, which is the home of Disneyland, which we also went to. Freaking cool, man! They had this Millennium Falcon ride where they have like a full size Millennium Falcon. Like you can see it outside, and then when you're going into the ride, it feels like you're walking in the halls of the Millennium Falcon. Like it feels, and you even go to like the living room with the Millennium Falcon, where they got the little like Star Wars chessboard and everything. And then you even go to the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and you and your five friends or family members like actually pilot the Millennium Falcon. Like there's a score you get. Like there's two pilots, one goes left and right, one goes up and down. There's two gunners who are pushing buttons to shoot the guns, and there's two engineers who are like hitting buttons to repair damage. And it actually has effects on the fight and the flight. Like you can crash and take damage, and it lowers your score. So that was pretty cool. The kids loved it. We had a lot of fun. They really love Splash Mountain log rides. We also went to Universal Studios. They had Nintendo World, the Jurassic Park ride. Got to see. We went to the Long Beach Aquarium, which is one of the most famous aquariums in the world. We went whale watching, and we got to see dolphins, and we got to see a humpback whale, which apparently was rare, especially that time of year. And he was jumping and jumping repeatedly, so we got to see the whale jump like 10 times. We were so lucky. We went snowboarding in Colorado because I have family in Colorado we went to visit. We went to this thing called Meow Wolf, which is like an artsy hippie kind of place, but I like it because I'm kind of a hippie. And it was like a rave. It was like a rave scene, dude. It's like a warehouse for a rave with all these little rooms that are decorated to the nine, to the, is that the saying? I forget. It's an old saying. I don't really know. Decorated to the nines. It was pretty cool. So if you're kind of into psychedelics and you like just kind of like wandering around getting lost, check out Meow Wolf. It was fun. Um, Gosh, I know there's like a few other things we did that I can't even remember right now. Oh, the Discovery Center. The kids had so much fun. My daughter was so cute in the Discovery Center. They had this like dinosaur place where you get this little handheld thing and it asks you questions. Find the dinosaur with the long neck that eats leaves and not meat. And she's like, "Okay, Daddy, let's go." We did that for like an hour and a half, dude. My other family came and found us there, and they're like, "All right, we did the whole place." And I'm like, "Me and her have just been here the whole time." So it was a great trip. The kids loved it. My daughter keeps saying she wants to go back to do Splash Mountain, which is the log ride, either on Disneyland or Knott's Berry Farm. She doesn't care. She just loves it. Um, yeah, so we had a wonderful trip. Got to see so many people. Oh, EverQuest related. I got to see. I might as well go kill some stuff while I'm still talking. I finally met up with the person who got me into EverQuest, who I thought for a time period was dead, who I know for a period of time was just homeless and was in jail on charges for attempted homicide. And it was so great to find out not only is he not dead and not ignoring me anymore, it would kind of, but he got to meet up with him, and we were like comfortable together. We were laughing and stuff. So it was really great to see him. He was the one who let me play this game when I used to come to his house and hang out, and he let me play this game. I got addicted. And then I used to bring my computer to his house and we'd play all night. Like literally, sun's coming up, we got to get ready for school, not a wink of sleep because we were grinding. He was higher than me, so we weren't grinding together in the game, but we were sitting next to each other, probably silently like, oh, zombieing out. But so great to see him. On top of that, I met Classic, or Matt. We hung out, we talked for a while. We went to get a coffee together. That was cool. So what a great trip to meet up. And aside from that, I met up with my best friend who I haven't seen in 20 years, from like middle school to through high school. Like carpooled together, hung out together, rode bikes around the neighborhood together, slept over each other's houses all the time. Got to see him. He moved to Colorado, Denver, and I happened to go to Denver because I have family there. So that was awesome. What a great trip it was. It's gonna be few trips in my life probably that are gonna be as big as that trip. I mean, it was the kids' first time in amusement parks, first time on roller coaster, first time in America, and I saw all those people that I haven't seen for a long time or never met before, like Classic, and it was just such a special trip. And yeah. And it's funny to think, like, sooner than you know it, most of the trip's gonna be forgotten. You're just gonna remember vague details. I mean, already I feel like I've forgotten most of it, and I've only been back for like 5 days. You know, so it was a magical trip. But hopefully, not hopefully, there are many more good times ahead. Hopefully, in the States with the kids, in a nice house, instead of an apartment. I'm really looking forward to that. Look at that, 7%. So fast. Very nice. This guy's not too bad. Anyway, guys, I think that's about all I got to say. Hope you guys have had a great time. I think I'm talking to everybody, of course, but I'm really thinking about the boys because I haven't seen them for a while. When I was on my trip, we didn't get to play together, so I hope everything's been going great with you guys. And yeah, hope we can do something we enjoy doing together again soon. Seems like we're all kind of experiencing a lull in our thirst for the game, but I think we will enjoy ourselves with the occasional session together. It'd be fun, and hopefully one day get to play Classic again. Classic, if you're still watching or listening, which I think you are, because you're that kind of guy that would listen all the way to the end. Solo self-found hardcore, awesome. I'm into it too. What if we just don't put the solo on there, and that way, if just so happens to align somehow, we both have a character that are close enough, we could get together, during one of those grinds. So it's nice to have all the flags, right? Especially because there's some perks if you ever get to like 60 or whatever. Which, let's be honest, man, I'm also tempted to keep that option open, but I can honestly say it's never gonna happen. I was gonna say probably, but I think I cannot take out the probably. It's never gonna happen, and it's not because it's impossible. It's because the time commitment, like, at least for me, it's never gonna happen. I think for you as well, But so keep that in mind. I know like that kind of thing is more like a solo thing for the most part, and I'm not saying to play together all the time, but if we don't put that flag on, maybe once in every 10 blue moons, when things just happen to line up, play one session together, kill some mobs, and chat, make a video. Know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, have a good one. I'll see you soon. Peace.